What's going on, you guys? I'm coming to you today with an Armada build, and I'm kind of focusing on the old school ISD2, the title Devastator. Now, this is an ISD that doesn't really get used a whole lot, or especially the title, because it ends up being one of those titles that really only has a big payoff when you're about to die. But I thought I'd just kind of come back to it, try to put a fun list together. I'm only using 3 ships. I'm also planning to paint these ships too, and I just thought I'd put a little list together to make them work. So for right now, I'm using an ISD2, but once Wave 7 hits, this type of thing will change. But this is just a for fun build. We're going to use Vader as our commander, and since this is going to give us extra blue dice, we're going to go ahead and use the SW7 ion batteries on this guy. We got a lot of blue dice, a lot of black dice too. I don't want to necessarily have to use my my accuracies. I can have them be extra damage, so I've got XI7 on there. XI7 is just always nasty, and of course we're going to have gunnery teams, so we can take 2 shots with this thing. For our defensive retrofit, we are going to use electronic countermeasures because, well, that's just awesome to have. So really heavily decked out Imperial Star Destroyer here. I am going to add a victory. So this is not going to be a very ship intensive build. So if you have a limited collection, you might be able to run this. You might have to swap some upgrades here or there. I'm going to be using XI7s on these as well. So if you don't have that many XI7s, then you can feel free to swap it for something else. But I'm also going to run disposable capacitors, which are new out of Wave 6, and they're just amazing on a Vic 2, and we'll also run gunnery team as well. So I have lots of shots, even though I'm only going to have 3 ships. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to maximize my 3 ships. And since we used an old Victory, I'm also going to use an old Gladiator, and not too far from the norm here. We're going to run Demolisher, because we can maximize our attacks here as well. I'm going to do Ordnance Experts only because, I have Vader, so I don't really need Ordnance Experts. And you can, if you're trying to squeeze some more points for initiative bids, you can feel free to drop this. But I just really like being able to make sure that I get every single black die to have double damage on it. So between Vader and Ordnance Experts, really helps me out. And I can take risks like re-rolling dice that only have a hit on them. And I'm going to throw external racks on there too, because I'm going to get that one shot, right, where I would just say, all right, 2 extra dice, and for only 3 points, that's a great cost. And it can be anywhere. It can be left, right. I can even use this against a squadron. So external racks is just a really cool card. And I'm going to be painting all of these guys, so I might go live later on tonight and do that. I'm going to try to make them all match, do something a little different because I got some new stuff for Christmas. So let's go ahead and go with squadrons here. I want to have a few squadrons. I'm not going to be able to have a tremendously huge squadron presence, but 4 TIE fighters is going to be enough here. That puts us down at 397. So just a kind of mediocre initiative bid. So if you wanted to drop, Ordnance Experts, that would bring you down to 393, which would be a stronger initiative bid. But initiative is just such an interesting thing, really, because it totally depends on what people around you are doing. If everybody runs 400-point lists, then a 399-point list makes you king. So yes. So this is that. Now let's go ahead and look at objectives, because objectives is going to be an interesting thing here. Now, in this particular list, a lot of my normal ones are going to be like right out of range. I'm not even going to consider a lot of them. So like opening salvo, not going to consider that one. I don't have enough. Advanced gunnery is not going to work here either, just because we've got gunnery team on our 2 major ships, and Gladiator's not going to work well for that. Blockade run, I don't have that fast a ship. Definitely don't want that. Most wanted only would be good if I had a Gozanti sitting in here, and I don't, so I'm not going to do that. So in this case, precision strike's not going to be that good either. I think I'm going to go with station assault. Just to, for one, I don't want them, focusing too much on my ships. I'm going to know where they're going to go, so it's going to help me, especially with that victory. So if they go with, again, this isn't the best list specifically for red objectives, just because of that. If you trimmed it up and you threw a Gazanti in there, I could definitely see running most wanted, though. All right, so for our yellows, I think, I think fire lanes could be really nice here. Again, it would be better if we had some strategic squadrons, but we don't really need that. But I'm thinking fire lanes just because I can kind of put the ISD right in front and have the Vic flying right next to the ISD and just say, hey, if you want them, you have to come at me. So I think I'm going to go with that. And then for our blues, I am very weak on the deployment stuff, so I'm definitely going to go with either one of these two. And I think Solar Corona is probably going to win out most of the time now. But superior positions could work because we have the Demolisher, although this kind of works a little bit better if we had a slightly stronger squadron presence. So I'll go for Solar Corona. And that's going to be the list. Let me pull up the printed out version for you. And there it is right there, guys. So check it out. Let me know what you think and stay tuned because I'm going to be trying to do some painting, and I'm going to try and paint 3 of these guys to go together, and this is a list that'll probably evolve quite significantly after the next wave comes out. 3 ship lists are going to become more doable, and the large ships are going to be a lot more accessible and be cheaper. This will probably change over to a Simoon, and it'll save me 8 points right off the top. Which can then turn into, maybe a spinal armament or something like that. Of course, that costs 9, but you get the picture. So a lot of things are going to change once Wave 7 comes out. But this is just kind of taking some, fun at the early Wave 1 and 2 stuff. And, and that should do it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.